What is up, everybody? Snaggle J back with a brand new video today. It is part 3 of our Miami Marlins franchise. Hope you guys are digging it so far. If you are, smash like, smash the subscribe button down below. We have reached the 2022 first year player draft, the first chance we will have to add to our minor league dumpster fire. Let's just hop right in. Listen, we're picking 6th. 6th we're picking. I'm loving that. I'm loving picking 6th. Let's see who goes in the top 5. We've got Jose Pena, Vincent Cho, Brian Chen, Steven Pappas, and Lou Zambrano. 4 position players, a starting pitcher, all 80 potential, 4 22-year-olds and a 21-year-old. All guys who look like they would be ready to rock and roll. But let's jump in and see what we have. Now, we need guys that can make impacts right away. So let's jump in. Let's sort to guys that have ETA recent. Now, our scouting is not great. And fully admitting, most of it's my fault because I forgot to check the notifications for when my guys were done scouting tasks. So we're going to be flying a little bit on the old blind side in terms of scouting. Let's sort by potential and see some of these 80 guys that we got. The problem we run into, right, is with the 80s, they seem to be so far. Like, for example, you got Carl Johnson. He's a blue chipper, but you're looking at a guy, he's an 80. He is, 50 overall right now in terms of where he's at. He's only 18. And again, I don't see the value in us picking a guy that we're going to wait 7.5 years before we can do anything with. That's not fun to me. That's not something that I think would be good for us. But unfortunately, in the guys that are ready to go, like relatively right now, one of the few guys we have scouted is we have closer Albert Brayman. We have starter Paul Morales, who we have scouted a fair bit here. He throws 97 fastball and 97 cutter. Huh. Wonder if he'll stick around in the second round, maybe. Let's see. We need some guys with 80 potential. Ernest Mesa, again, not a guy that we have scouted. It's really difficult for us not to pick a scouted guy early, right? Like, that would be like absolutely just a death sentence for us, I think. But then again, like I said, you look at these guys, you got William Aguilar, he's 2026 or further. You got Raphael Corona is a top blue chipper. He's 65 overall. He's a lefty. Or bats lefty, throws right. Not a whole lot of velo, though. 90, 88, 85, 81, 81. Yuck. Not really a guy that we're going to want. We've got Carmen Carrillo. 65 overall, 70 potential. Looks like he could be a power monster with the power right and the power left with 80 potential for each. But again, not a whole lot of contact and just really not someone we'd want to spend the 5th pick on, I wouldn't think. We'll go down a little further to somebody like Ezra Aguilar. Again, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of development with the hit tool there. Seems like a lot of his potential is based around his reaction and a little bit of steal. And you can see his speed has already exceeded his potential speed. And he's 5'7". So again, just not, this draft class is not super duper great, and it's made a lot harder when you don't really scout properly, which is something we'll probably have to switch maybe to auto, or we're going to have to put a greater focus on it when we move into the future seasons, because this is not going to be ideal for us, not really the way that we want to get this underway. John Flutie, 6 foot, 22 years old. 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, changeup slider. Interesting there. Again, a lot of great players here. Where is somebody who has sort by overall? Reggie Banks. And we don't really have Reggie Banks scouted very well, so this could be. I don't really know if we want to be out here gambling the 5th pick on a guy. Again, for what we have on paper now, shortstop, not really something that is a major need for us. So maybe Reggie Banks doesn't fit that bill. maybe not somebody that we need to be looking at. We got Bert Ortiz, a switch hitting starter. Again, fastball and not much else on the velo department. Sweep and curve, slider, changeup. It's only 5'11" though. So again, you're fighting that. I mean, not that we have a height bias, but if you're going to be picking a big workhorse starting pitcher, chances are you're going to want a guy that's, pushing 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", with a little more velo coming behind it. Let's do this. Let's kind of break this down and go through kind of position by position here and see what we can find. First base, not a whole lot kicking around at first base. You have Emilio Sixto, but we're not really that horrible off at first base. I mean, we do have Aguilar leaving in free agency. Actually, first base is kind of a black hole for us now that I'm really thinking about it. But again, 50 overall, and waiting 5 years for a guy is not ideal. Second base, not really much at second base that's interesting. Again, third base, we do have Darius Riley. Again, overall now not great. He has an 80 potential. Again, a guy that you'd have to build around for the future. His overall would probably be in the high 40s, maybe low 50s at this point. Looks like he could be a good contact guy with a good arm, not much fielding. You have Julian Pearson, who we don't have scouted that well, but does look like he could be a major hitter. Look at that 80 contact, V right and V left potential, 70 and 75 power, 80 vision, but again, not really scouted that much. That would be something that would be a gamble for us for sure. Shortstop, again, a lot of good potential guys at shortstop, but again, not a whole lot of scouting done there. Just our scouting department really just letting us down. Let's just call a spade a spade. Our scouting department has really let us down in advance of this draft. Left field, we do have some interesting options in left field. We have Carmen Carrillo, again, 70 potential. Probably not a guy I'd want to grab this early in the draft. We have Ezra Aguilar, who 60 overall, 80 potential. But again, 5'7", really not desirable for a guy that we're going to need to be a hitter. We have Leandro Espinoza, 6'1", 20 years old, switch hitter. Looks like he could be a pretty good contact hitter. Some pretty good defense there as well. Not bad, not bad. Center field, we've got some good options. We have 3 blue chippers in center field. There's a lot of really good talent here in center field. Another guy who, again, we don't have scouted, but Richie Pena, 5'11", bats left. Looks like he could have an elite contact tool and elite vision and really, really good defense, good speed and stealing also. That could be an option. Again, though, the scouting accuracy killing us big time there. I just wanted to see, what do we have at third? We have Anderson and Wendell. Shortstop, we have Khalil Watson. Left field is really just a big issue for us. I have a feeling what we're going to have to do is we're going to take a major, major gamble with this pick. We are going to have to gamble hugely on this pick. We have Ernest Mesa, 5'10", 18 years old. Looks like he could be a very big power threat with a little bit of speed in there as well. I like it. Man, we are... This is tough. Our scouting department has not made this easy on us. Man, we're going to have to take a gamble, and I think that gamble is going to be Richie Pena. Here's the thing. There's no good here. There's no way we do good with the horrible way we developed our scouting. Normally the snaggle in me would want to start over and make sure we scout appropriately. But we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna learn from our mistakes, and we're gonna learn from them together. Richie Pena is a short list guy for me right now. And I think the other one was, no, there's really nobody here. Was it, I think he was a third baseman. Julian Pearson, was it, that we thought might have been somebody who could be kind of elite for us as well? Oh, man. This is tough. because we know there's a high potential we're going to screw this up and pick the wrong guy. But we'll learn from it. We're going to Marlins this up. I think we're going to go with Richie Pena. I think, again, could be a good contact, good steal guy. We're going to go with Richie Pena. Let's keep some of those other names in mind and see kind of how it works out. But we're going to draft Richie Pena and see where it goes. So we're into let's go back to the first round and see. So after Richie Pena went 6th, Darius Riley went next. There's John Flutie. There's William Aguilar, the other center fielder that we were looking at. Raphael Corona, we got those starting pitchers there. Abdul Donovan, who we looked at. Emilio Sixto, the big first baseman. There's Carmen Carrillo, ends up going to the Cardinals at 21. There's Reggie Banks, ends up going to the Red Sox at 24. There's Ezra Aguilar, goes 25th to the White Sox. We'll take a look at some of these guys and their ratings after. This might end up being a little bit of a longer video, and I apologize for that in advance, but that's kind of just how I roll. All right, let's jump in here and see who else we have. First of all, let's see if we have anybody else left who's been accurate for us, who's not going to be a million years. We do have Bert Ortiz. Ortiz, fastball, sweeping curve, slider, changeup, so he's got some good stuff. Good stamina. His hits per 9 could use some work. K per 9 has high potential. Walks per 9 has high potential. Home runs per 9. Listen, Ortiz looks like the kind of guy that, again, 5'11", not great, but looks like a really high potential starting pitcher for us. We don't really need a whole bunch of starting pitchers, but he might be the best guy that we could pick at this point. Who's a known commodity to us. Dominic Clark is a big righty, 94, 91, 94 cutter, 91 splitter, 83 sweeping curve, 84 changeup, 88 slider. Doesn't throw a fastball. 6'4". I would probably want to go with Ortiz first. Let's just see what's left for potential 80 potential guys. Some of which we may have. So we have Arturo Quezada. 4-seam fastball, circle chain, splitter, curveball, 94, 84, 88, 80, 6'2", 21 years old. Damn, this is the pick right here. This is the pick. Quesada could have middle of the rotation kind of stuff. Hits per 9 is already pretty good. His velo really good. His break really good. That's not bad. I am a fan. We still have Leandro Espinoza as well. And the first guy we picked was a center fielder. Now, so that would leave us again in the outfield right now. We have Soler, Jesus Sanchez. We have Dela Cruz in center. Blade is our younger guy in right. Avisal Garcia is in right. So could we go another outfield? He's an extreme opposite hitter, so kind of a slappy guy. He's a switch hitter, which is nice. 70-70 contact. Not going to hit for much power. Looks like he's going to have good vision, good discipline, okay fielding and arm and stuff. Good speed, good steal. So he's just a kind of a run-of-the-mill, across-the-board kind of guy. So I think he could be a good option for us. 80 potential as well is nice at this part of the draft. He's a 2024. So I think we're between Quesada and Espinoza here. Now, yeah, we're kind of in between these two guys. The other guy we could look at is Christian Madden. Fastball, curveball, changeup. Not really a great, much more reliever-ish profile to me. The control is not really there. The home runs per 9 is really bad. That's a reliever profile. Not really someone that we would want to go with. Lee Kang. So really it's between Quezada and Espinoza. And I think, again, given our dearth of position players coming up through the system, I think we got to go with Leandro Espinoza here and just hope that it works out. I seen Bert Ortiz go there. That's unfortunate. Christian Madden just goes as well. I don't think any of the guys. Oh, is that Quesada still there? So we're gonna get to make possibly amend the wrong here with Arturo Quesada, who we get in the 3rd round. Okay, I'm digging it. Let's go to the 4th round now and see what's left. Anybody left that we've scouted? Not really. We do have Joe Shelley, starting pitcher there. Let's kind of cycle through the positions and see. Not much behind the plate left. John McCarthy is actually higher than his potential right now. I kind of want to take a catcher just to say we have somebody in the minors who's a catcher, because our catchers in the minor leagues are horrendous. Not great. I mean, a lot of our positions in the minor leagues are not great. Francisco Feliz, there's no way he's an 80 potential. That's just a scouting thing. Man, I'm so upset at myself for botching the scouting. Like that's really gonna set us back. We'll see what our class ends up looking like when it's all said and done. I'm not really ready to write it off just yet, but we may have ended up missing on some really good prospects because of our scouting botch. I think we're gonna take Jonathan McCarthy. We're gonna take a flyer. We're going to take a flyer on him and just get ourselves a catcher, and then we'll take some guys, some higher potential guys that we have with some somewhat accurate here. We got Joe Shelley and Eric Duffy here, a couple starters. Fastball, slider, curveball, 2-seamer. Good stamina. Hits per 9 could be good. Home runs per 9, not great. He is 6'5" and is a righty. We got a righty here too, 95, 88, 84, 92. Scouting accuracy is pretty in the middle. I think the play is Joe Shelley. Should be what? 2 more rounds? It goes 7 rounds, right? 6 or 7. I can't remember. We don't have much left for accuracy, so we're just going to go with the highest potential guy. Julian Pearson was a guy that we were looking at in the 1st round. This is how scared I am for the guy that we picked. Because this is a guy we were looking at in the 1st round. And he's still here. That is like the epitome of how big of a failure our scouting department laid on us here. But now I got to take him. Because I got to take him in the 6th round now. Maybe he could be the greatest player of all time. All right, the draft is done. Let's go see what mess we got ourselves into. Okay, that's okay. Okay, listen. Not the potential's not great. Okay? 74 potential, not great. But not a horrible guy. Good contact, really good vision. Defense is okay. Great speed. C potential, again, not ideal for a guy we just picked 6th overall. Definitely an L, but not as big of an L as it could have been. Okay, that could have been a much bigger L than it is. Because again, he's gonna get into probably the 80 contact range against righties, probably around 70 against lefties. His vision's gonna get into the 80s. His fielding could get into the 80s, and the reaction as well. His arm is not gonna be great, but he's a center fielder. He won't need to have a great arm, and his speed is gonna be like a huge thing for us. So again, not great, but he has leadoff hitter potential for sure. Like, that's a leadoff hitter profile. He's already a 67 overall, so again, could be our leadoff hitter next year if things go well. You know, we'll probably start him in the minors next year and see where it goes. But again, all things considered, it could have been a lot worse. He has leadoff hitter potential. We'll take it. Leandro Espinoza. Now this is not great. This is a switch hitter. C potential, 62 overall. This is an L. Just not great. I mean, he might develop a little bit. Could be a bench bat for us. The fielding's not great. He does have good speed, steal, base running, aggressiveness, which matters not. So that's an L. That's not ideal. Not ideal. Quesada does have B potential and is 70 overall, so he's starting out hot. I don't hate this. The K per 9 is not great. And the home run per 9, not great. So this is, again, what, third round? That's probably an L2. But with B potential and already a 70 overall, definitely somebody that could be a back of the rotation guy for us. I think he could develop. He's already 21, which is also not great. But there is some stuff there to work with. And again, with a mid-90s fastball and a good changeup and a good splitter, it's he could be a bullpen guy too. I think that's a good pick. I think that'll work. McCarthy, again, we just picked the guy to have someone in the minors as a catcher. He's got a bit of contact already. Defense is pretty good. Yeah, he's a D potential, already a 71 overall. That's not a bad guy. That'll give us some depth. He could probably be our backup catcher, to be honest, right now, compared to what we have. I know you can't bring them up right away, but not terrible. Joe Shelley. I'm gonna sign them all just because we have them. Again, that's a later round guy. Obviously, 56 D potential. That's not what you want. That's he's gonna be a guy we're gonna keep around in the minors, and eventually we'll just end up cutting him. He's a body. He'll fill a spot down there. Julian Pearson, a guy we were looking at for the number 6 pick, could be quite the steal here in the 6th round. B potential at third base, 6'2". He's got some. Now here's where this card really just sucks the root. Hitting wise, not bad. 67 contact versus right, 73 contact versus left. So he's probably going to get into the 80s against both sides. His power could get into the 60s against both sides. He's got good vision, good discipline, good durability. He can't field. That's a problem. That's where this card is going to be difficult to place. Because he has DH or DH if you prefer not to say H. I don't know why I said H. Maybe I'm just so tilted because of this draft. Yeah, he's got DH written all over him. That is a problem. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would have to chalk our 2022 first-year player draft up as an L. We did get some good players out of it. Again, I think it'll be interesting to see what we can do with Richie Pena in the future. Definitely has leadoff hitter potential with that contact profile, the vision, and the speed. Could end up being a good center fielder for us. And an upgrade over what we have. Arturo Quesada could end up turning into a back of the rotation guy, maybe a shutdown reliever for us, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with Julian Pearson. Maybe our 6th rounder ends up being the best pick of this draft. Jump down in the comments below and let me know some of the draft picks that you have made in MLB The Show 22. I love seeing them. If you got links to Twitter or whatever, post the links and I'll check them out. I love to see that stuff. And of course, smash like, smash subscribe, and until next time, peace.